What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Season of Heritage. As the season comes to an end, I thought we would take a look back and find out what the Season of Heritage did good, what it did bad, what could improve. Let's hop into it. Pretty much what we're going to be doing is going through each and every event we had during the Season of Heritage, giving it a rating and then talking about it a bit. First of all, the general season web page. We started with the seasonal monthly bonuses. Every season we had a single monthly bonus, 2x Stardust for the December, January had the XP, and February had the XL candy from eggs and 2x XP. Now I love these bonuses, but one thing I realized is they are for ticket holders only. So this is actually a paid thing. Originally, like if you read it, it really doesn't say that it's for ticket holders only, but it actually is. I found that out the hard way during Steel Community Day. And then we did have these battle pass like challenges, which again, I think are great. Honestly, super fun. Again, you didn't have to buy the ticket to get access to these, but I think that's only fair. Every single other game charges you for their battle pass. So that is fine. We had the seasonal spawns, different Pokemon appearing in different regions. I love this. That goes as always and adds a little dynamic to your play in which only certain people can hunt certain Pokemon during each season. The 5km and 10km eggs for the season were all right. We did have cool baby Pokemon like Munchlax going in the 5Ks. The 10Ks were a little disappointing this season, I'll be honest, but all in all, classic stuff here. Seasonal bonuses. I really want to talk about this. Guaranteed XL candy from trading. I feel like this should just be a regular feature in Pokemon Go. They should not take this away, but I did love all the seasonal bonuses we had. The increased incense, which is always great. I hope they keep this for a little longer. Guaranteed gifts from Pokestops is a very good one as well to get gifts sent out faster. The trading ones are amazing. This is great. Community days for the season, we'll get into those in a bit, and the Johto Tour. So that is pretty much the seasonal recap. Now let's get into specific events and my thoughts on them. First event we had was the Swinub Incense Day. I love the Incense Days and I hope they bring them back more often. I really like how they actually allow you to get past Community Day Pokemon, but not in a Community Day format. This one, of course, was Swinub, and you could evolve the Swinub to get the Mamoswine's Ancient Power. I would love to see them return like Pokemon like Bagon. We already had the Beldum one, but maybe Dratini and different Pokemon through Incense Day. Some of the rarer ones like Larvitar would be cool as well. So you can kind of grind the Pokemon. It's not the easiest to grind because it's off Incense, but you can still get their Community Day move. Of course, we have the Johto Tour with the opportunity for certain Pokemon like this, but I think this is a great way to bring back Community Day Pokemon and get them to get their legacy move while still having a decently high shiny rate. That event was an 8 out of 10 in my opinion. The Dragon Spiral Descent event. Now this event, we had the shiny release of Druddigon with the instant shiny. Now this was all hype at first, but then once we realized that it was going to be raid locked and research raid locked, because it was in research, but the research was win a raid. So honestly, like I do understand why they do raid locking, you know, new shinies and stuff behind raids. It was still kind of unfortunate to read, oh, new Pokemon and new shiny right away. This is super hype. Oh wait, the only way to get it is by spending a lot of money. So that was kind of unfortunate. Maybe if they had just given us a tougher task. I don't mind if you raid lock it, but give us a tough task, like something that is possible to do. Like, I don't know, catch 50 Pokemon, but you can still get encounters with this Pokemon. You just have to grind a lot harder instead of just making completely raid lock. All in all, this event, the spawns were the biggest issue. If you look at the Dragon Spiral Tower in the main series games, none of these spawns really were featured there. I think the theme they ended up going with, fire, electric, and ice type Pokemon are going to make appearances instead of taking Pokemon from the actual Dragon Spiral Tower, like Axew and things like that. So that was kind of unfortunate. All in all, I'm going to give this event a 6 out of 10. It was a decent event, but I don't think it deserves a super high rating. We then had the introduction of the Powering Up Pokestops feature. Now, I think at first this feature had a lot of potential, but it became kind of a gimmick in the game. Not a lot of people do it, and I don't think it's really worth doing it after my live testing. If you want to see my live testing video, check it out below. This is a feature because we're going to talk about features that came during the season. This is a feature that they added, but I think there was a lot better features they could have added. The Power Pokestops ended up really becoming a gimmick. The postcard book. Now, although I haven't used the postcard book myself, I've heard that a lot of people like it. This is another feature they added during this season. I think it is a good thing to add. There are other features I would implement before the postcard book, but definitely no complaints about the postcard book being added. So that is the second feature they added. We then have the Pokemon Go Holidays event. Now, I think this has been one of the worst holiday event we've ever had. I'll be honest, as much as I do love the holiday event, I think they're super fun. I think there was way too costume Pokemon centric. I do like costume Pokemon. I do think it's cool. It has that place in the game. There are some people who like collecting them. The fact that they did not add the feature, and we're going to talk about, there's another event too with the costumes, but the fact that they did not add costume removal, in my opinion, to this event at the same time made this event a lot less attractive for the majority of players. There was really not too much spawning in the wild other than the classic Swinub, Snover, and Snorunt in terms of irrelevant spawns. I guess the Alolan Sandshrew was cool as well, but it was really just a costume kind of centric event, and all you were really getting were these costume Pokemon, which not an amazing amount of people do. Also, the two-parter events, I don't know how I feel about them. I think it does keep the event fresh, in which like the spawns kind of switch up and things like that. But at the same time, like I feel like just make the event all one. I guess they're gonna be doing probably two-part events for all the big events like Halloween and the holidays and things like that. I think this event, honestly, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I think the costume, it just wasn't as good as the other ones in terms, because they did not add costume removal, making it so anyone who wasn't into costumes, they could play this event, but it really wasn't that attractive. We then had Sphere Community Day. I think Sphere Community Day was definitely a 9 out of 10 event. Great move, great new shiny. All in all, this was one of the best community days we've had in a long time. I really like this community day, 9 out of 10. Next up is the New Year's event. I'm going to give this event a 4 out of 10. This was one of the worst events we've had this season, in my opinion. All costume centric, and the fact that they did not add costume removal this season or this event, I'm just surprised why they didn't. Look how many costume Pokemon they have. I think it was like 24 or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but there's at least 20 costumes probably around here. And they did not add costume removal during this event. I think this would have been a perfect opportunity to allow us to remove costumes so we can catch Pokemon like Charmander, but still evolve them into their final stage. Not even remove costumes, just have a feature where it's like, would you like to evolve this Pokemon? It will remove the costume kind of thing. And then the bonuses as well were so focused around hatching, which I don't really know why it didn't really fit the theme. It's a New Year's event. Are people going to be going out and hatching eggs? Like, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. People should be spending time with like their families and things like that. All in all, I think this event was definitely like, I barely played this event. Having the release of Shiny Hoothoot was cool, like I guess, but you couldn't even get the Shiny Noctowl because it was stuck behind a costume. So honestly, not a huge fan of this event. We then have the Bulbasaur Community Day Classic. I think again, this was a 9 out of 10 event. Honestly, I could maybe give it a 10 out of 10. Just bringing back community days in this format was probably one of the best ideas I've seen in a long time. It allows you to have an extra community day in the month in which older players can get access to this old community day that they might have missed, and newer players can grind XL candies if they'd like, but it doesn't disrupt the consistency of the regular community days in which veterans want, because veterans already have these Pokemon, right? So I think this was an amazing community day classic. I hope they bring back these more. This was definitely a top tier event. Now we have the Mountains of Power event, which I think was a really great event. We had the release of Shiny Slugma, which people weren't the biggest fan of because the Johto Tour was dropping it, but all in all, the spawns were great for this event. The raids where we had the release of Mega Aerodactyl, I had a lot of fun with this event personally. The bonuses were a little lackluster, like half candy for earning hearts with everybody. It's a very specific bonus for this random event. I feel like they could have been more on theme with that, but all in all, I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10. Mountains of Power, in my opinion, was a great event for everyone. I think everyone enjoyed that event. We have the Power Plant event. Now again, the Power Plant event kind of feels like a worse version of the Mountains of Power event. It was good and all. We had good spawns. It was a classic event, right? That classic format. You have your raids, you have your legendary raids, you have your research tasks, you have your wild spawns, and you have a new Pokemon or a new shiny kind of thing. In this instance, we have the new Pokemon Helioptile. I think it was a fun event, but also I think it was just kind of a little lackluster in terms of spawns. The spawns felt a little kind of like we've seen them a lot before kind of thing. And you're gonna see this with Voltorb. Near the end of the season, we started to get a lot of Voltorb and Electrode spawns in every single event, and it started to get a little repetitive. All in all, this event, I think I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. It was a good event. Oh, we also did have the Shadow, I forgot about this, Team Rocket part of the event. So yeah, definitely a decent event, but this is when we did get the Team Rocket takeover, which I do appreciate because this Team Rocket takeover is only, I believe, 3 months after the past Team Rocket takeover, and usually it takes a lot longer for them to make those Team Rocket takeovers. So it was really cool to get this event, and we had the new Shadows. I think this event was great. Honestly, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 just because we also got the Team Rocket takeover. Hoppip Community Day. Again, I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10 right off the bat because I think this is a great community day. We had a new shiny, although everyone was gonna get the shiny during the Johto Tour. It is still a straight up new shiny, which we haven't seen in a long time in which a community day has a completely new shiny. All of 2020's community days, I believe, were straight up already released shinies. So we got a new shiny, a new move added to the game. Jumpluff is a little bit better with this move. Amazing bonuses as well. The Skiplooms in Parks was amazing with the 3x catch Stardust. All in all, an amazing community day. I don't think it was as good as Field Community Day in my opinion, but it was still a good community day. We then had the secret release of Hisuian Voltorb, which I think was amazing. Honestly, this was probably one of my favorite parts of this last month, which they secretly released Hisuian Voltorb in Pokemon Go. It has been a while since they had secretly released a Pokemon or a shiny without announcement, so I really appreciate this secret release. This was really fun when I found out, oh my god, this Pokemon is in Pokemon Go. I'm so excited to randomly catch it, do a little pop-up stream kind of thing. So this was super fun. I really love this secret release, which led us on to the new Lunar New Year event. I think this was honestly one of the best events out of the Mountains of Power, unless I'm forgetting something. Out of the Mountains of Power and this event, I think this was one of the top events. We had the new shiny Litleo, which is a great shiny to add to Pokemon Go because because Litleo is such a common spawn, so it's an easy one for people to hunt. As you see, we had the Voltorb spawns again. This is the second event. We had the Voltorb spawns and the Hisuian Voltorbs, and the bonuses were great, man. The lucky trade bonuses, increased chance of becoming lucky friends, double starters from opening gifts, 1 special trade per day. These are amazing bonuses. Now, the Lunar New Year event is an event we get every single year. Last year, we got the release of Shiny Gyarados in the wild and Mega Gyarados. So we're probably gonna get this event next year as well, and it's a pretty easy event to predict as well. You just look at what the theme for the New Year is. Oh my God, has my hair been like this for a long time? But all in all, this is a great event. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I think it was a super fun event. Eggs were going down, research was going down as well. Research with the Mega Gyarados energy and research. I hope they do this more often because this is a great way to stock up Mega Energy. We had the wild Gyaradoses, although they were rare, they were still there. The Litleo Spotlight Hour was the day the event started, so everyone could shiny hunt Litleo during Spotlight Hour. I love when they do that. They give you a non-shiny in the Spotlight Hour, but then they release the shiny through an event right before it. That was super fun. Then we had the Valentine's Day event. Honestly, the Valentine's Day event, it was an average one. I think it's kind of hard to make this event good because of the limited amount of spawns you can get, but putting spawns like Minun and Plusle, I get it. They're like kind of like a couple thing that just, no one really wants those Pokemon, and 90% of the spawns I swear were Minun and Plusle. I saw a couple Chanseys, but not even that many. The rare spawns were super rare. I didn't see a single Miltank, and I didn't see a single white or orange flower Flabebe. I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about it. I think the event in general was good. We had the new hard form Furfrou, which was cool. The bonuses were all right. 2 times lure modulation, 2 times catch candy, and the new release of Flabebe was really cool. They did region lock them, which I kind of expected. I don't know what other way they could have released them. Maybe just release them all, but I think region lock kind of makes sense for a Pokemon with 5 different forms. All in all, I think this was a decent event, but I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. I can't really put my finger on why. I just feel like the spawns were really lackluster, and the spawns are like the most important thing of any event. So all in all, this Valentine's Day event felt a lot like the last Valentine's Day event, which understandable. The events are going to be the same, but over the years, they start to kind of just copy paste events from last year to this year. Pretty much the exact same thing as last year, except we had the release of Flabebe this time around. Second last, we had the Pokeball prep event with the release of Hisuian Voltorb. I think this is an amazing event because of the fact that we have Go Tour coming up, and I really appreciate when they do stuff like this. I hope they do this with Go Fest as well, in which they kind of theme the events around prepping for a bigger event. So this one, of course, is around getting prepping Pokeballs. So I do appreciate them going ahead and saying, hey, we know there's this big event coming up. We're going to give you an easier way to get Pokeballs through research and things like that. I just want to say the tasks for actually getting Pokeballs are not that amazing. Like, you can't get that much. It would be a lot nicer if there were better tasks to stock up Pokeballs a lot faster, because the only way to really get a decent amount of Pokeballs through these field research tasks would be if you do a lot of them. I would appreciate that if they just made the tasks absolutely broken to prep up Pokeballs, so people in rural areas or people with not a lot of stops who can't get a lot of field research tasks are able to grind out a lot of tasks because the tasks are so easy to get Pokeballs. But other than that, I think this is a great event all around. We did have the Wild Galarian Stunfisk Shiny, which is a cool spawn people can hunt for. All in all, I'm going to give this event a 9 out of 10. I think it's a great event. And finally, this leaves us with the Johto Tour. Now, let me find it here. Now, the Johto Tour hasn't gone down, so I can't give you an exact rating of it, but I think the Johto Tour is a good event. It's the second biggest event of the year. We have Go Fast and the Tour events. Last year, I had the Kanto Tour, which I think was probably one of the best events of last year. Kanto Tour was amazing, so we're going to have to find out. You might be watching this video before the tour or after the tour. I'm not 100% sure, but you know, you can give yourself a rating of the Johto Tour. I'm going to be playing the free version of it, so I'll be able to tell you guys if I think, you know, is the free version any good, and or was it worth to get a ticket, because my mom will have the paid version, so we will be able to compare. But honestly, the Johto Tour does seem like a pretty good event. I'm probably going to give it like an 8 out of 10. The only thing that sucks about the Johto Tour is that Johto itself is kind of a weak gen, but it's not like Pokemon Go can do really much about that. They're given a generation, and they have to do what they can with the generation to make a fun event around it. And I think they've done a pretty good job with a lot of great bonuses going down. So yeah, all in all, I think this season had a lot of average events, like good events, the Mound of Power, the Lunar New Year event, the Swinub Incense Day event. All those events were pretty good events, like high rating, 8 out of 10s, 7 out of 10s, but then it also had some pretty lackluster events in which I feel like those events could have just avoided being like happening, like the New Year's event. I believe the Pokemon Go Holidays event could have just been one that, like, obviously you're not going to avoid that, but it could have had a lot of improvement in my opinion. The one thing I will talk about during the season that I wish they did more, and I believe last season they added more, is just adding more quality of life features. We obviously got the powering up Pokestop drops and the postcard book as new features, but we didn't get anything else. Now I understand it takes a long time for them to add these features, and I'm sure they're working on adding some sort of features during maybe the next season, or it takes time, or they're trying to refine it. But just seeing more consistent addition of features that actually help the gameplay experience, not different like little gimmicks like Pokestop powering up and postcard book, but like quality of life changes that we've wanted in the community for a long time. I'll link below my video on my list of different features that would be, you know, amazing. But yeah, if they just added more of those every season, again, I don't really know how it goes down in Niantic, so I don't know. They're probably working on things like this, but that would just be my one feedback, to add more of that stuff. But all in all, I think this was a great season. I think I'm gonna give it an overall rating of 7 out of 10. I think it was definitely a worse season than the last season, in which last season with the Hoopa, I think that was an amazing season. I didn't do a review of that one, but the Hoopa season was a really fun season. I really enjoyed the storyline of all that stuff. But this season, I feel like the storyline, it didn't really follow the exact theme of it. One thing actually I want to mention before we end this video is, how did we not get a fossil event this season? We had the Season of Heritage, which is all about the heritage of Pokemon. We didn't get a event about fossil Pokemon. Archon, Tirtuga, Lilip, Anorith, Cranidos, Shieldon, all those spawns. We didn't get a single event about those. And then also on top of that, the Season of Heritage, like, it kind of all led up to the Johto tour, but I feel like we should have had some sort of like Arceus release or something like that, because that is a huge prediction a lot of people made, and Arceus makes a lot of sense, right? It is a heritage Pokemon. It is the god of Pokemon. It is the creator, and we didn't get it in sort of research. Like, it would be cool if every single season they added some sort of mythical or legendary Pokemon through research like they did with Hoopa, and that's what I kind of expected this season, us to get Arceus, but we didn't end up getting it. I still think it is a 7 out of 10 season. I think it is a strong season. We had some fun with it, but I don't think it compares to some of the past seasons. Well, like the only really serious season they've ever done, which was the Hoopa season. So yeah, comment below what you guys think about the season. What would you rate it out of 10 for the Season of Heritage? I think there was a lot of great stuff, but a lot of missed opportunities. If you guys want to see me do more season reviews every single season, or event reviews, we could do them more specific, just so you guys get my thoughts on everything. Let me know below, and maybe we will continue to do this series. But that's it, guys. Hope you guys are excited for the new season. They should be dropping details soon about it, or they might have already dropped details about it. We're gonna see you all in the next one. Follow up on tips, everyone. Peace.